Good evening, friends. I am Arthur Perkins, and this is APGamingREAL. We are about to do some preparations for a campaign. The Sons of Gold campaign, a merchant campaign for stars without numbers. Oh, I probably should have moved the sector map over. I'll do that in my spare time. Seems like a waste to do it while you're here. I want to announce, by the way, I am taking ship names. So if you have a name that you would like for ships, let me know in chat. We'll put it in there. Well, I'll look at it and I'll figure out if we're going to put it in there. I'm not just going to blank check ships real quick. Oh, so let's take a look at what we're doing here. As promised, this is part 2 of 4, which means we are going to make a merchant campaign. And to start with, we need to go to all the places and give them a world tag for merchants. We're starting with Hanan, which hosts the planet Papamakel. These are kind of Russian communists that live in giant floating, highly advanced bubble cities that they don't control. And they spend all their time making gene-engineered slaves and biological weapons. And good food. So, Hanan is definitely going to have some sort of weird tag. Yes, they're communistic, but I feel like they're more, kleptocratic? I mean, that doesn't sound bad. I mean, obviously it sounds terrible, but it sounds relevant to what they are. So let's throw that down. Kleptocratic. We'll figure out what that means in a second. And just copy this over to all of my places. Alright, now we're at Gatari. Sorry, Gatari. Actorus, led by Caesar Harold Goulda. This is the Area 51 place. They have cut off all communication to the outside world. They used what little money they had to buy a fleet of military ships and send it to go blockade the aliens in Zephyropolis. And their people at home do not believe in the celestial world. They don't know that there's a galaxy out there. So I feel like the closed... Is it closed? No, it's secret. Secret is a tag that indicates... Secret. The outside cosmos is a secret there. Yep, I mean, that's literally what they do. Okay, Zephyropolis is an alien world, so I feel like slapping it with the alien tag is pretty right on the nose. Philemon, with the planet Sagari, hosts an unbraked immortal AI that has been spying on everyone in the sector. It sends out stealth ships. There's a mechanic in Stars Without Numbers where it's assumed that you have your transponder on. I'm going to do a quick talk about how radar works, because I am an electrical engineer and I once worked at a military air base. There are two types of radar. The first isn't really radar. What most people consider radar is kind of like a bunch of cell phones calling each other. Your aircraft sends out a signal saying, this is MH1037. And the ground gets that signal. It's called radar, even though it's nothing like what you consider a targeting system painting. That's where a signal is sent out actively in an attempt to find things and bring it back. And so there's two types of radar, passive and active. This game revolves around that. You can turn off your identifier, your ship's IFF, and effectively stealth your ship. in the vast gulf of space, there is a lot of emptiness. And so when you jump your ship in, no one can sense it, right? Like, no one's like, oh, gee, you just jumped a ship in. You're effectively invisible if you have your identify friend foe off. And if you want to make a run-in system, it's a roll of your tech skills versus their sensor skills. And I think it's fair to say that an unbraked AI can probably raise up a population with very good technical skills. And it's also fair to say that the sector is filled with people with very bad technical skills. Since there's only a couple places that have good technology. So this stealth fleet isn't, I mean, like, the ships aren't painted black and shaped like stealth bombers. They're literally just regular ships, albeit created by an AI, so probably super advanced, that just, turned their cell phone off and said, hey, I'm not here anymore. Stop calling me. So what kind of tag to give these people? I mean, I feel like Panopticon is pretty solid. Let's do that. Panopticon is a government where you are being watched all the time. It actually developed out of a prison system. The key to the Panopticon is convincing the participants that they are being watched all the time, even if they're not. And thus, with the assumption that you're being watched, you will never do anything bad. Because you might get caught. Well, I guess the theory is you'll probably get caught, and so any attempt to do bad stuff will be met with punishment. It doesn't work. I mean, yet. Alright, Thora Papandreou is the planet the players are coming from. Oh no, it's the planet the players are headed to. And they've got a problem. They are about to go to war with each other. So I feel like a militarized society's okay. Maybe thriving. I mean, it is capitalist versus communist. I feel like thriving's a good one. This is like the first real trade planet. And Madhuri, that's where the players came from, is a kind of puritanical... And they are a scarcity planet. They lack, in any way, the ability to produce further ships. The player ship is the only one that's ever made it out. And if the players decide to come back and bring back some of whatever that molecule is, what do we call it? I think we called it Farium isotope. So, I actually deleted my notes from last time. When I close this, the map, I didn't save it. So that was a huge mistake, and one I'm unlikely to make again. So let's go through the list here, figure out where everything is, and then attach all of the necessary things. So first up is alien. That's going to be here. The denizens of this world either are aliens or possess such a strange culture that they might as well be non-humans. Societies tend to have strange estimates of value by ordinary human standards, often prizing substances of limited interstellar value or requiring bizarre procedures before business can be conducted. Dealing with alien societies is fraught with danger even by far trader standards, as it is easy for a human to trespass taboos that seem so obvious in their local dragoman that there is no thought to warn them beforehand. So insert. Alright, did that come out okay? Things, yep. Alien artifacts, exotic tech. So if you're familiar with Stars Without Numbers or any of the other things like Godbound, I've also done Spears of the Dawn and Silent Legions. These keywords like complication or thing are used to plug into adventure templates, and then you're like, cool, I have an adventure to find an alien religious artifact that the locals have found to be very dangerous, and it's being held by an immoral far trader. And it makes things pretty interesting. Kleptocrat. Dying, fractious, kleptocratic. This planet has a dominant trade framework, but that framework is hopelessly corrupt. Nothing happens without money, and possession of wealth is a license, enough for every variety of crime and wrongdoing. The local officials are ferociously greedy, peeling every spare credit off a far trader and making very narrow estimates of how much profit the far trader will need in order to justify return. The endless corruption makes for poverty and suffering among the common folk, but those who control the levers of wealth do very well. And what this will mean mechanically is that on this world, the friction level is hard. Friction is a keyword used as part of the calculation to determine how expensive an item is or how much... Well, I mean, that's basically it. How much you can sell or buy it for. Laissez-faire, Megacorps. We skipped military. Panopticon. There we go. There we go. The world is watched. Everything of consequence is monitored. Every interaction recorded and logged. Panopticon worlds usually form only on planets sufficiently hostile to force bubble cities or similarly contain controlled habitats. In such compressed circumstances, it becomes possible to track every individual to an extent that would be infeasible on more free-ranging worlds. Some Panopticon worlds are relatively benign, but most exist in order to enable some ruthlessly oppressive power structure. In an effective Panopticon society, the only people with unpunished crimes are those responsible for monitoring the observations. The societies that grow from such soil tend to pair spectacularly corrupt overseers with a populace trained to a half-demented degree of dissembling. Boop, boop, bah. Welcome everybody that's joining us as we are ongoing. We are assembling the pieces necessary to run trade. It's all spreadsheets and stuff from there. Alright, Scarcity World, which I think we had, right? Matkuri. This planet is miserable poor in some vital necessity for civilization. Food, water, breathable atmosphere, workable metals, or some other staple of human society is available in very limited amounts. Control of this commodity rests in the hands of the planet's elite, and most of the conflicts revolve around its apportionment. While most far traders lack the cargo space to bring in truly world-changing amounts of material, tech that breaks the scarcity through superior production or extraction techniques can result in convolutive change to society. Even so, many far traders prefer to bring in more limited amounts to better string out the local profits as long as possible. You know, I really should have opened with the quotes for what exactly Sons of Gold is. I apologize. I just jumped right in here to giving world tags without explaining what we were doing. We will do that as soon as we are done with the tags. We have a secret society. Any trade on this world must be conducted secretly with those few local powers aware of the far trader's existence. The rest of the planet may be virulently xenophobic or forbidden by off-world imperialists or the private economic fief of a far different trade empire. The locals may not even realize that interstellar travel is possible. Those permitted to conduct off-world trade are usually government representatives or secret societies aware of the truth. The construction of significant holdings on such world can be difficult, with everything conducted through a complex series of local cutouts and native geniuses recruited to explain new technology. The governments of such worlds vigorously discourage any attempt to widen a far trader's market. So this is going to be a world that's hard to trade on, because since everything goes through the government, they're going to be pretty good at taxing the shit out of you and making sure they walk away with most of the wealth. Sophisticated, theocratic, thriving, tribute, realm. It's another stream of me mumbling incoherently. Alright, thriving. Let's do that one. Tyrannical, tribute, thriving. The world is in the throes of an enormous economic boom. Whether through the discovery of new resources, the integration of new tech into their industrial base, or a renaissance of ideas and creativity, life on this world is getting better for almost everyone. If the world is not already a major player in sector affairs, it is likely to become so in the foreseeable future. While the good times are widely spread among the population, it is inevitable that some are going to be left out, and former oligarchs and ruling elites tend to find such universal prosperity be disruptive to the pillars of their former rule. I mean, there's no point in trading if you get zero gain. That's when people don't come back. No, it needs to be a very small percent. So what is Sons of Gold? What is trading? I want to read a story that is at the very beginning of the book. It's going to take a whole page, so it might be a little while. No, this is actually a good... This is a good background music. And it will tell you why being a trading merchant is still an adventurer, is still powerful. This isn't someone who, like, gets in their space truck, takes a package, and drives it over a border. These are real power players, and let me show you how. My factor tells me that you have terms for me, O Prime Minister. That I am to render over my manufactories, my fields, my storehouses, and my possessions. You say that I have robbed you, that I cheat you, that I have taken from you what you deserve and keep it for my pleasure. That I am a dirty, foreign thief with damnable ways who came to your world to beggar you. I protest your words. Your officials lived in huts of timber and mud when I first landed, and the sons of cabinet ministers died in their cradles from fever. I brought you a second fire and treasures from above the sky. I brought you medicine and tool and book for your scholar. I brought you the skies that your fathers had forgotten, and all that I demanded in payment was the yellow earth. It is true that I did those things only so you would dig the yellow earth, and not for any love of your stinking people. Yes, it's perfectly true that I sold the earth for 100-fold profit, and kept 9 parts and 10 for myself. My factor's house is finer than your palace of state, and I am the richest man in the world. You tell me that my riches are undeserved. Then give back the children my medicine saved. Give back your sons and daughters who work with tools of steel in sturdy houses, safe from the razor rain and black autumn hail. Give back the foreign meta wheat that gives you 5 crops where 1 once grew. Give me back these things, and I swear to you by the beard of the prophet that I will give you back every pound of yellow earth my ships took from your world. And you may daub the cracks in your homes with it as you did before I came. But you will not do this. You cannot do this. Instead, you will say you will tolerate this theft no more. You tell me that my possessions are now for the people, and that the wealth I have brought to this world should be fairly apportioned among the deserving multitudes, my riches divided among the wise officials you have appointed. For I am a foreigner and a thief. Must not the starving be given bread, though it beggar every merchant in the world? You send this message on the Crom grid that I built. This grid I built despite your graphing, your thieving, your 10,000 officials who demanded their share of the sky's treasure before they would permit me to keep my bargain. And when I would not make every one of them a prince over his brothers, they damn me for a miserly jackal. Your soldiers are legion, and my people are few. I cannot compel your peace, nor can I force your obedience. You and your henchmen are rulers on this world, and I am but a trader. Merchants can do nothing but sell their goods at the people's pleasure, and bow their heads beneath the people's reproof. It is the lot of merchants that it should be so, that they should merely sell and be silent. It is the lot of merchants to sell, O Prime Minister, and also to refrain from selling, just as I have refrained. There is one thing especially which I have not sold you, which I have withheld from my markets, and kept from your grasping officials. Had I sold it to you, you would have complained at its uselessness, and cursed me for a thief to sell you such worthless trash. It is called a nuclear damper, this thing that I will not swear. And I swear by my name before God, that if you rob me of my possessions, I will burn them to ashes in your hands. For I may have brought you a second fire from the scythes, you thieving son of a mangy dog, but I have a third and greater fire still. And by God, it will warm you yet. Sent by the far trader Saif ibn Baraka to Prime Minister Ivar Zarni of Kozlin, 3298. So, just in case you came through midway or are not sure what's happening, it's the story of a merchant who took gold off of a planet. Everyone involved in that gold harvesting wanted corrupt tax payment, graft, everything they could to get richer and richer. But in the end, the man would not give them a piece of useless technology called the nuclear damper. And what that does is, crazily enough, it stops nuclear explosions. Tech level 4 worlds, the current standard tech, all have easy access to this, but tech level 3 worlds don't. And anything lower than that probably hasn't even heard of it. Which means, if you have nukes, they're worthless on tech level 4 and 5 worlds, but for tech level 3 and lower, if they don't have nuclear dampers, you can destroy the world. You can literally just crack it open with nuclear fire. And so, merchants are adventurers too. Except when they murder Hoba, they destroy the whole planet. So, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. We need to figure out what currency each planet has in order to hold on to its goods. And let's explain why you need this. In most campaigns, a credit is a credit. Money earned on Polychrome will spend perfectly well on Gansu, and a character's full bank account is accessible from anywhere in the galaxy. For most games, this is all the attention that needs to be given to the topic. For far traders, life isn't so simple. The relatively small amounts of money that most freebooters spend can be covered by interplanetary exchanges and local banks. But when the planet-shaking sums of wealth that far traders move are involved, the calculus changes. No planetary bank is going to credit half its reserve against property that exists in a star system completely beyond the control of local authorities. Credits are currency, but a far trader deals in wealth. The distinction is important if GMs and players want to understand the motivations of interstellar traders. Every planet's currency is backed by something. In many cases, this something is actual wealth, or some resource that is universally valuable or needed by the populace. One credit represents so much gold, salt, iron, medicine, air, or some other vital substance. Particularly on very primitive or disorganized worlds, this money may actually be pieces of the substance, weighed out as coins or former measures. Control of this currency is based on the production of the necessary good. On more developed worlds, this currency is often backed by a government competence and controlled by the governments themselves. A credit is worth a credit because the authorities say it is, and because their populace is willing to agree. A sudden reconsideration of that assessment can result in drastic currency crashes or other economic maladies, as can overproduction of money by the government. Given the usual tense relationship between far traders and planetary governments, only the most foolhardy traders are willing to put their trust in fiat currency. Far traders use their local profits to acquire actual wealth. This wealth takes the form of a tangible product, an assured service of skilled labor. Foodstuffs, local stores, high-quality manufacturers, raw, rare materials, defensible holdings, and other physical things that people want to have merit consideration in a far trader's portfolio. Government promises, stacks of local paper currency, and other intangibles are less favored. Their actual exposure to local currency markets is kept as limited as possible due to their vulnerability to currency crises and government monetary intervention, and not the least of which because the far traders themselves are often the cause of such crises. Offering a far trader 20 million local credits might interest him, but offering 500,000 tons of this year's neo-krill harvest is sure to catch his attention. Government bonds might be shunned by merchants, but salvage rights to a pre-tech ruin might bring a king's ransom and off-world products. A far trader likes things he can touch and carry away far better than he likes a currency that's fundamentally under the control of people who might consider him an existential threat to their survival. And here's the important part. So why not simply fill a freighter with pig iron bars and ship it to a pharaoh-impoverished world? Pharaoh means no iron. Well, pharaoh-impoverished means no iron. In a stroke, the merchant will become fabulously wealthy and could buy up all local, valuable products for the interstellar equivalent of beads in the song. Many spacers make a point of filling their shore sacks with such local valuables before hitting the town, and the natives are glad to accommodate their spending. This toleration vanishes as soon as some off-world merchant launches a kamikaze attack on their monetary system. Any volume of commodity big enough to matter to a far trader is big enough to cause serious disruption in the local economy, and that sort of chaos is certain to infuriate the native ruling class. It risks enriching and empowering large numbers of people outside their existing power structure, provokes rampant inflation, and produces a direct threat to the local elite's control of the planetary economy. The merchant who triggers that kind of destruction will be lucky to escape with his life. His largesse will cause enormous destruction as inflation makes savings near worthless and society is thrown into turmoil by monetary collapse. While such generosity is a brutal tool to punish a world, trading opportunities tend to be unpredictable in its wake. Experienced far traders instead work to bring a balanced cargo in, selling those goods that not only satisfy immediate demands, but also set up the planet to provide a more abundant or sophisticated goods in the future. Disruptive technology is introduced carefully and quietly, with profits taken before the local rulers realize the long-term consequences of the wealth now accruing to the lower class. A world may come to abandon certain stores of wealth over the course of this development, but it will be a gradual process. So, that's why merchant trading isn't just buy thing X here and drop it off here after you buy the maximum number of units that you can. Because inflation makes people angry. And you don't want to make governments angry because they have giant weapons. Okay, so let's talk about what currency secures each world. Our thriving world of Thora, I believe, is the first place the PCs come. It is secure with actual credits. It is a world that is it is host to the Exchange of Light, so it has a banking economy. So it's the local credit exchange. It's where you can go to swap one thing in and get something else out. On well, let's start with Tanan. This is the kleptocratic. This is the planet where they trade in Maltech. They get food rations from the local. They get equally proportioned food rations from the local dispensary. So I feel like food is probably what they like to trade in. They back it in confidence. In the Qatari system, they have almost nothing here. This planet is like completely destroyed. It's hard to live on. Probably some, I mean, it's going to be called oxygen, right? But what it really is any equipment necessary to live. So like Star Wars style Jedi rebreathers, having a small like backup supply of that is probably how the government keeps local confidence, right? When you can be like, yo, you don't have to worry. We've got 5 rebreathers here and, 10,000... Oh, man, what's the unit? Well, 10,000 liters of compressed oxygen. Well, you probably wouldn't say liters of oxygen. You'd probably say how many atmospheres. No, that's pressure. Jesus. I guess you'd have to say liters at how much pressure, right? Because it's the volume plus the pressure you're keeping it under? Jesus, am I really bad at science? I think so, right? Like, I think that checks out. I'm an engineer, and I think I need to do more engineering work more often. Uh, Obviously, I don't work with atmospheres very often as an electrical engineer. Alright, so, alien world. What do they trade in? Oh, this is the world that has, it has metals. So, their currency is literally pieces of, ferrium. It's not, oh, it's ferrium isotope. Yeah, so probably the ferrium isotope is cut into, like, beads or balls. And you trade, 20 balls for a sandwich or 50 balls for a loaf of bread. This is the Panopticon world. I honestly don't know what this world is lacking. So I'm going to roll for it. On a 1d12, it's a 3. Dietary supplements to digest native food. That's interesting. I'm going to double check here to make sure. I think this world is a hybrid world. So that would make a lot of sense. It's Philemon. Agari. It's an immiscible biosphere. Immiscible biosphere is not friendly to humans. Yep, that makes sense. Dietary supplements. Oh, man, the AI that controls the world holds all the supplements and hands them out as people needs them. And then it discovered that people need a currency, and so it gives them all a little bit of extra supplements, and that way you can trade them around for things. No, that wouldn't work, because then anyone who didn't have enough supplements would literally die, and the AI wouldn't let that happen. I'm going to have to scrub that idea and re-roll. Yeah, the AI is not going to let people die. Its whole point is to preserve human life. Okay, 11 is slaves. Nope, that's not going to happen. That's the problem with having combustibles. Power on a world relying on tech. Man, that's actually a good one. Yeah, this is a world that runs on power. Oh, that makes so much sense because the AI probably consumes a massive amount of power. And so it needs people to make extra. And oh, dude, there's probably like solar arrays and fusion generators, and it like rewards people with stuff if you feed it extra energy. And so it has intentionally allowed itself to become energy deficient to encourage people to have an economy to rebuild society after the scream. Oh man, it could power itself if it wanted to, but it intentionally deceives people into thinking that it needs more power so that they will give it power, and it can encourage an economy and thus keep the cultures of the past alive. Damn. It's like super, super sneaky. The AI is badass. Also, it's kind of scary. Where were we? The aliens. Now we're on to the people from the world that they came from. Let's figure out what they need. Because they are out of ferrium isotope. Salt or other human needed minerals. I feel like a salt trade isn't bad. Maybe it's a world overflowing with salt, and so because salt's necessary for human consumption and other things, they keep stockpiles of salt. They got a federal Fort Knox where they got 20 tons of salt. All right, so that covers the currency everybody needs. Next up is creating trade tables. So let's see here. We also need to make friction amounts for each world. So each world needs a trade table. Well, let's start with friction because that's a good statistic. Trade table. And then we need to do a trouble table, but we'll do that later. So friction is a number between 1 and 5 that indicates how open a world is to trading. A 1 indicates that a world is completely open to trading. A 5 indicates that if you land, the government will literally steal your stuff right off your ship. So I feel like it's pretty good to just say, and a 3 is average. I feel like it's pretty reasonable to say that the bubble world floating place filled with kleptocrats that take stuff from people and run like hugely illegal and immoral genetic experiments are probably a 4. They're not going to steal stuff off your ship, but they're definitely going to try to get the most out of it that they can. Let's make the trade table, and then we'll copy paste everything to the next area. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so in order to make a trade table, we need certain requirements. We need 4 tags. Let's explain how this works. In order to sell or buy anything, you gather up a number that is equal to your expertises. So, like your business, your bureaucracy, your characters, skills, and the combined skills of your whole team. Like the best business skill plus the best bureaucracy skill, all are combined. Plus any local world cultures, you get to add that. You add the friction as well, and then you roll 3d6. The Is it the lower? Okay, so when you go to roll, your friction and your expertise cancel out. If you want if you're buying something, you add it to the roll, and if you're selling something, you subtract it. And when you roll at 10 to 11, which is the average for 3d6, you get the base price for a unit. And so obviously, when you want to buy something, you want to roll very, very low. You want the price to be super low. And when you're selling something, you want to roll high because you want to sell something for a lot. And so there's a bit of luck involved, for sure. But the friction of the world and your expertise help mitigate that. But there's also something else that helps, and that's the world's local trade markers. The trade markers allow you to shift things up and down a bit. There's a +2, +1, -1, and -2 for every world. The minus tags indicate the world has so much of something they don't need it. And if you bring it to them, they're not going to buy it. And if they sell it to you, it's because they have so much, it's going to be cheap. So, as a thought, agricultural worlds have -2 to agriculture. Because with so much food is basically worthless to them. On the other hand, they have a +1 to biotech because they want to bring in all of the new biological technology that they can. So let's figure out what matches this particular world here. We need our tags, and then we'll start on figuring out what goods are there. And this is a Maltech world, so I'm pretty sure there's Decadent Worlds. Perfect. -2 sapient, that indicates that they sell slaves, because they do. -1 biotech. Oh, is this +1 Maltech? Oh, no, this indicates that they buy Maltech. I need them to sell Maltech because they have so much of it. Let's see if we can find one that sells Maltech. If not, I'll just edit it and flip those. Yeah, I feel like they're going to bring in biotech and sell Maltech. Actually, it's probably the other way around. It's probably -2 Maltech. -1 sapient. +1 biotech. And +2 luxury. They really love getting crunk. Well, no, their local currency is based on food. So it's probably +2 agriculture. They're willing. Well, we'll call it luxury because they get all the food that they need. What they're looking to try is new food, right? They get like protein pills every day, but what they really want is the good stuff. Okay. So they get, let's see here, assembling the trade table. These are the 10 goods that when you go to the planet, these are what you can buy. Let's see here. Pick 5 characteristic trade goods of the world. You can use random tables for inspiration or draw ideas, original ideas from tags given in world creation. Okay, so we have a good idea what this world looks like. Kind of. We know that they're going to obviously sell Maltech goods and slaves. So let's look on the chart here and see what involves those tags. There's a lot of scrolling going on. Blah, blah, blah. One thing that they're going to sell is Ghoul Immortality Tech, which is... Ghoul Immortality Tech, which is a series of cybernetic injections that when you're given them, you can eat other people and consume their life force and thus live forever. Yes, it's horrifying and it's super illegal. It costs 400,000. Oh, you know what? I should probably do name, credit, tech level, tags. Perfect. And I could probably turn this into a table, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. And I need 11. There we go. Perfect. Ghoul Immortality Tech. Credits is 400,000, which is a lot. It's literally the most expensive thing you can buy. Oops. And their tags are medical, Maltech, compact. Notice that Maltech is here. So Maltech, when you go to buy Immortality Tech here, you take a -2 on the price. And let's see. According to the chart, a -2 can get you 20%. Not bad. Not bad at all. 20% off of 400,000 is a significant boon. You're also going to want livestock, gene-engineered livestock. Oh, it's spelled weird. Gene-engineered. Which is worth 10,000. Tech level is 0, and it's livestock biotech. They need to be able to sell slaves, because that's what they make. Oh, whoops. Slaves are worth 25,000 in a batch. Gosh, how much is a batch of slaves? Sapient. Alright, so each unit of slaves is 1 ton. 1 ton of people? Well, assume the average person weighs about 150 pounds. A ton is going to be 2,000 pounds. So they're going to be, what, 7 or 8 people? So 8 people divided by, or I'm sorry, 25,000 divided by cost of a human life is about 3,000 credits. Interesting. Is there any other sapient / Maltech on this that I can put up for sale? Because you obviously want to put the stuff that they're good at on the planet for sale. Oh, you're right. It would be 10 to 15. Yeah, you're right. I did it for 1,000. I did it for 1,000 and not for 2,000. Perfectly correct. What else would they have on this planet? Not Fine liquor, fusion plants, drugs. Ooh, drugs. Meta wheat. I like it. It's a good sale. Probably be worthwhile. So part of what we're doing here, I'm going to leave a few things open so that we can encourage trading, right? There are places where common, agricultural, bulky. There's only 6 available trading spots, right? So we're going to want to make sure that there are places where you can buy things for cheap and sell them for a lot somewhere else to set up natural trade routes. Because if there isn't such an option, it's going to be very hard to make a profit. Players discovering individual planets and what they want and what they can buy and sell for cheap is part of the adventure. I feel like probably they could buy small arms energy. I like that because that means we've got a place that makes bulk weaponry. Oh, they can't do this. It's literally tech level 2 high. They can only make tech level 3 stuff. Metal ingots, rare alloys. Anything else tech level 3-ish? Recreational drugs? Well, that's luxury and biotech, but that's things they want to buy. Huh. Alright, let's go with clothing. That's a good, cheap one. Makes sense. 1,000. Cultural. Let's see if we can find any other cultural items. They would want to. Fine liquor. Nope, that's luxury item. Basic housewares. I mean, they live on a factory world, so that makes sense. Factory ship, technically. We'll leave some spots open. 6 is good to start with. And when we need to copy paste everything down to here. And if you have any questions, chat, let me know. If you have any ship names for spaceships, let me know, and then we'll see if they can show up in the campaign. Get some music playing again. Oh no, Forbidden Galaxy, that's... Okay. We need to wipe this. Gataray is a secret trading area. It is going to be friction 4. It's going to be difficult to do trade here. And as a secret world, it probably has some sort of tags. Let's figure it out. Types of worlds: agricultural, alien, cosmopolitan, decadent, industrial. Is there like primitive world? Yes. How primitive is this world? Let's double check before I make any damning decisions. The Gataray system. Planet Arcturus is tech level 4. Okay, so they're not that primitive. They are post-tech, so they probably produce post-tech stuff in small amounts. I like that, though. That's pretty good. They'll probably be like the post-tech exportees. So I'm looking for somebody with minus post-teching. A ship called the Laughing Dolphin? Very well. Shall be so. You know, I thought this was cool, but actually it's just kind of eerie and frustrating. Let's go with Desert Bazaar. Sounds good for a trading campaign. Agriculture. I've tried to imitate those people now. It was a bad mistake. Cannot do that auctioneer stuff. Those guys are crazy. Alright, we're going to have to make our own tags here. So this place is a post-tech world. So they can make good goods. Oh, it's probably post-tech. Let's look at the tags before I do anything crazy. Post-tech. Yep, I spelled it correctly. What do they require? They require oxygen. But what do they sell? Ooh, vehicles. That would be interesting. We haven't really seen that so far. Oh, what if they made their No, they wouldn't have made their starships. Oh, what if they made their starships in secret? Like a secret asteroid field that only the government knows about, and they construct ships in the shipyard there. Yeah, that gives a lot of flavor to the world for being a bunch of shits. On the other hand, mineral might be good. I'm gonna go with mineral. They're a mining planet. And they need oxygen and that kind of stuff. They also need privacy and a way to control the local population. And they can't, like, the goods that they're buying can't be, like, super advanced. So they can't buy pre-tech stuff. And it can't be obviously foreign. But what do they want to buy? Can't be cultural. They probably want equivalent technology. Tools. Yes, tools is good. And military. Yep, they are big purchasers of military. Because we know that they have a not-so-secret fleet currently attacking another world. Okay, I think we got this. +1 to tools. Is there tools? +1 to +2 to military. So, let's figure out what the goods on this world are. So they export post-tech and mineral goods. Let's find things with post-tech and mineral tags, and then figure a couple other things. So, post-tech building materials, that's a good start. $10,000 credits. Tech level 2, tags are tools, post-tech, and bulky. So the +1 to tools and -2 to post-tech will cancel out and end up giving this good a -1. Parts starship maintenance. I like that. And it's got post-tech tag, so... thought that was my fire alarm going off. Post-tech, astronautics, rare. Lottie X Flick. No, I'll skip on that one. Sorry, Doc. Sorry. Well, Peppers. Sorry, Peppers. I'm going to pass on that one. There's a lot of things with the post-tech tag that also have the tool tag. Not good. Metal ingot rare alloy. I like it. Metal ingots rare alloys. We can't literally have a ship named after a couple. 3. What does the rare tag do? I'm curious. I'm on the wrong page. Okay, gotta go the other way. The rare tag, rare and widely desired, gives a +1 to price mod. Oh, interesting. Means it'll be difficult to buy here, but it'll also be easy to sell. Medical supplies, post-tech. So they make lots of stuff. Lots of small things that could go missing from a colony rather easily without people being like, hey, with control being so strictly measured, where's all this stuff going? Elsewhere's post-tech. 5,000. Tech level 4 is consumer good. Oops. Consumer. Post tech. Fusion plants. Interesting. Colonial materials. Actually, they would be very good at that, because they are a colony that needs these materials, but they now have a lot of them. 2,000. Survival. Post-tech. Common. Boom. Is there a post-tech drugs? No. Okay. I feel like that's good enough for here. The alien world. The sun is a deadly laser. The alien world, it's very easy to sell things. Their trade is 1. They literally don't care about the human trade problems. They will buy and sell anything. So, alien worlds kind of have a pre-made tech thing here, so let's do it. Yeah, they have -2 to alien because they sell alien goods. They have a -1 to medical because they make medical stuff. +1 to biotech because they need it in order to live. And +2 to cultural because they are... Oh, and that makes sense, except we're going to replace biotech with religious. We'll replace medical with religious. Yes, because this is a religious world. It's a shrine world. Let's replace biotech with something we haven't seen so far. What does this world want that other worlds make? What do other worlds make? They don't want Maltech. Maybe they want slaves. Post-tech? Oh, that's right. This world is only tech level 3. They want that post-tech. They're thirsty for it. They're thirsty for it. Oops. Nope, that's correct. I didn't make any mistakes because that was supposed to be empty. Okay. Let's get down to business. Make some things. We're gonna need some goods. Anything with the alien tag. What do we got? Nothing. There's literally not a single good with the alien tag. So we're gonna have to make one up. Alien tag gives it a +2 price mod. Give me a name for this alien thing. And then we're gonna roll. Base price. I wonder if it's a vehicle. It's gonna be an alien something. We haven't had any vehicles so far, so I'm curious about it. And it's probably like a really highly developed. So it's an alien vehicle. Everyone wants one. It's got a +2 price mod, so its base unit price is 25,000. We now roll to see how compact or bulky it is. The sun is a deadly laser. 14. It is regularly normal sized. The rarity... I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's rare. So the price mod goes up 1. It's now 50,000. I'm not going to say Vespa. Alright. I want to say yes to Vedgoot Pepper, but I don't know if it is something. Can someone Google Vedgoot? Just to make sure it's not already a real thing or a slang word for something. Not that I don't trust you, but you have tried to trick me into doing something so far. And what's so special about this vehicle? What was it? It's a 1. It has subtly addictive components. Oh, man, so when you drive this vehicle, you want to drive it more. It stimulates the human nervous system. Vedgut is not something. Very well. We're at 50,000. Tech level 4. Oh, it's actually tech level 3. And its tags are alien, vehicle, rare. All right. What else we got? We have religious. We have religious tags. Man, this is rough. There are not things to buy or sell with these tags. Probably going to have to take the religious tag off and get something that's really common. Okay. They probably need consumer goods, right? That'll give them something that other people sell. A consumer good. All right, yep. -1 consumer. Okay, cool. And consumer lets us put a whole bunch of things. Oh no, that's wrong. Consumer would need to be up here. Oops. We need something that they can sell. That other people want to buy. So let's check what their tags are. Biotech luxury. Tools military. I'm wondering about that biotech. A lot of things you can do with biotech. Let's go with that to start with. Get some alien drugs out there on the market. Okay, so drugs, raw materials. You can buy your cocaine here. Or what do you make into cocaine? Coca plant. You can buy your coca leaf on the planet. Understand that when I'm saying coca, I don't mean actual cocaine. This is going to be alien cocaine. Culture, biotech, bulky. Drugs, recreational. Look at that. With some factory work, you can turn 2,000 credits into 50,000. And make it much smaller. Luxury, biotech, compact. So compacting turns 10 tons of drugs into a tenth of a drug. Tenth of a ton of a drug. So it's a 100 step down. That's how drugs work. Fine liquor. Ooh, fine liquor. Sells for 10,000. It is a luxury, low tech, and it is compact. What other biotech do they make? Probably livestock, but we've already got another place that makes livestock, so I'm kind of less interested in that. Is there another biotech thing that someone hasn't made? No? Well, they'll probably sell the livestock just cause. So there's... I'm hesitant to do it, but there should be multiple sources of engineered 10,000 0 livestock biotech. We need to do one more thing, probably something you wouldn't normally expect. How about native artwork? Oops. It'll be alien because it's from an alien world, so it's probably pretty sweet. Or at the very least, our minds aren't able to comprehend it fully, but we can stare at it and say, oh, yes, this makes me feel X. All right, Panopticon. Oops. Erase that. Go over here. That. Nope. Erase that. Let's step back 3 steps. Perfect. There we go. world's probably pretty easy to trade on. The AI that runs the world, well, runs the system of Philemon, wants it to happen, so he's going to give it a 2. Let's wipe this out and figure out what they're good at here. Let's see what their tech level is. Philemon. Sagari. Tech level 4. Hundreds of thousands of people. I'm going to say that they need food. And they produce tools. That gives us a place to bring food into and to take tools off of, which is good because we have those things. So, what are those tags called? -2 tools. And then bloop, bloop, and +2 agriculture. And that means they'll want to bring in foods of all kinds, medicines. Yeah, let's give them a +1 to biotech. And they also sell, they've got a lot of oh shit, it's a cultural world, of course. It's not +2 to tools, it's -2 to culture and -1 to tools. Yep. They literally produce items of human culture from all ages. Perfect. So the first thing they make is clothing. They make clothing from every culture that's ever been. Common, low tech, and cultural. Let's see what else here is cultural. Native artwork. Wow, the art on this world has to be fantastic. They literally have access to all of human society, and a AI that encourages them to do, like, make, be like, hey, look, you can make art in the traditional Hanan style, or you can mix it up and make new art, and everybody would be like, oh shit, we're gonna mix 2 styles, or we're gonna come up with something completely new. We're gonna amaze you, glorious AI overlord. All right, they need to produce tools. Tools and oh, that's not actually writing anything. Tools industrial is 10,000. Tech level 4 and is tools post tech. Is 50,000 for medical equipment. Oops. Shift tab. Tools, post-tech, medical. Need more tools, though. Parts, pre-tech industry. So they can repair highly advanced technology. They just can't make new pieces of highly advanced technology. They know how to keep it working. They can't make new ones. Is there any other tools? Fusion plants. And that's what I thought, fusion plants, because this is a society that uses power as its basic economic unit. So of course they're going to have that as their thing that they sell. Okay, we're getting a good mix of things so far. Thora is the planet the party first comes to. It's going to be a 3 to trade at. It's literally average. And it is a thriving consumer world. So probably going to be a consumer. Let's see if we can get some tags for that, rather than have to hammer out my own. Cosmopolitan worlds. -2 cultural. Well, no, we've already got a lot of cultural going on. Oh, but they desire pre-tech, huh? Industrial worlds. Interesting. And it also lets us put consumer on the map. Let's not do tool, though. What else do we have that we need? We need agriculture. Is that true? We need agriculture and military. So let's do military, because this place is a Cold War. And they need things from other nations. Need electronics somewhere, or is that considered a tool? That's a good question. I think electronics is wrapped up in other things. It's almost certainly tool. Post-tech are goods that can only be produced on post-tech capable, so that's like electronics. Tools can range from simple hammers and knives to crates of meta tools and exotic pre-tech implements. Alright, so that's everything from nanochip impurity filters to a forge. Interesting. Oh boy. Vehicles. I like that. And that also makes it so that vehicle that's produced on another planet is wanted here. +1 to vehicle. They're looking for any kind of new vehicles because, oh, of course, it makes sense. It's a Cold War. They're looking for any kind of military advantage over their enemies, right? And so they're like, oh, cool. Let's get this new alien vehicle that we've heard of on another planet and throw some guns on it. And astronautics are commodities that have to do with spaceflight. This is the planet where ships are coming from for the most part. So I feel like giving them +2 to astronautic is a good one. No one actually produces astronautic goods yet, though. So, no, we'll give astronautic to another world. There's only one left, so I know which one it is. But, 2 indicates they want to buy it. They need it. What does this world need? What do they want, man? What do other people have that they want? Probably minerals. Maltech. Sapience. Minerals. I feel like minerals is probably going to be a good one. Because they make consumer goods here. So they're really thirsty for minerals. And we can throw some minerals up on other planets to kind of make it, you know, you don't have to go to the mineral world in order to have minerals in your cargo kind of deal. We need to wipe these out. And post up some consumer goods that they want to sell. Oops. I am in the wrong thing. I'm not in the PDF. Okay. Keyword consumer. Basic housewares. Nope. Post-tech housewares. Sounds good. Tech level 4. Hey, Sudden. Zenobius. How's it going? Consumer. Post-tech. What else has the consumer? I can't do pre-tech. This planet isn't high enough level. That's it. Oh, well, consumer kind of sucks. Let's invent something then. All right, chat. What are we going to invent? This is a consumer product. We need a name for it. We need a thing that it does. I'm going to roll D20 and see what else it does. So it's going to have multiple tags. 1D20. It is a 6. It is a consumer cultural. No, we got plenty of cultural stuff. What do we need, though? Good question. What do we need? 5 is consumer. There's no reason to make a consumer good. What do we need? Agriculture. Consumer goods. I already need that. Military. Ooh. What kind of common consumer product would you need that involved military? I don't know. Consumer biotech? Consumer tools? Consumer biotech again. Consumer agriculture. That's an interesting one. Protective equipment. Auto spine straightener. Pocket knives. Not pocket knives. That would be survival. Huh. I was saying astronautic earlier. I think I might go with that. It's going to be something involving spaceships, but everybody wants one. Let's figure out what it does. But astronautic is +1 price mod. Which means that this good costs 10,000. Why did it give a apostrophe over there but not here? Well, why did it give a comma over there but not here? I don't know. It is a normal sized object, and let's see how rare it is. E20. It's a regular rarity. It is a product, and let's see what's important about it. Maybe people can give me some names. A mini spaceship or a drone? I like that. It is incredibly durable. Okay. Is that re-rolling for no apparent reason now? What the heck? Alright. Incredibly durable. Huh. I like the idea of communication drone. Hear me out on this one. If you've ever seen the anime Outlaw Star, they send all of the ships, all the grappler ships, which isn't every ship in the series. The grappler ships send out very tiny cameras, and then it creates a playing field area in your mind where you can rotate a 3D camera around. So in grappler ship combat, you act as the ship and you have a 3-dimensional view, so you know who's coming up behind you. I feel like having this spacefaring culture here, they might send out these little tiny drones in front of them to get cameras everywhere, be paparazzis. I like the idea of it being some sort of camera drone. And people want it because, I mean, it's expensive. But when you own a spaceship, 10,000 credits actually isn't that much. It's probably cheaper than your yearly maintenance. So, yeah, they're the only place in the galaxy that makes them, camera drones. You guys throw me a name for it. So it's consumer astronautic. Oh, and it's probably compact too, because it's a little tiny drone. We need a name for it. You guys are throwing that to me. Tech level 4. Consumer astro. Oh, and compact. Alright, now we need some military. We need a lot of good military, so that the rest of the galaxy can fight the good fight. You know, I've been typing this out, but I bet you that I can copy-paste this here. Nope, I fucked up. Alright, well. D5JK8. I'm going to pass on that one. That's really hard. That can be its model number. I'll definitely give it that as a model number. The model number D5JK8. But it's called the Keanu. The Keanu. Alright. Time to do a lot of typing very fast. Small arms. Energy. Alright, I'm already fucking up. 10,000 for military post-tech. Small arms projectile. 5,000. Tech level 3. Military low tech. Other kind of military stuff. Parts starship maintenance. Yep, that checks out. this kind of world. Maintenance. 25,000. Definitely people that are going to want to buy that. Something else. Consumers, they want minerals. Is there any other military? Or is it literally just small arm? Ah, crap. Military. Yep, that's it. Okay. Some of these are hard to match up. I already do housewares. Yeah, I mean that's like the go-to consumer thing. Colonial supplies, sure. Colonial materials. It costs 2,000. They're tech level 4, and it's survival, post-tech, common. Cool. All right, last world. This is the world the players start on. Whoops. I need to copy this. Out of here. Drop it here. Drop it like it is hot. And the world that the players come from is going to be friction level 3, and they are going to be so thirsty for astronautics. They literally cannot produce ships where they live. They need it so bad. What else do you need to maintain ships? Post-tech. What level of technology is the world that they come from? Sector Matures, planet Protogaria. It is tech level 4. Okay, so they make post-tech stuff. What else would they make here? Oh, shoot. That doesn't need to be -2 astronautics. That needs to be +2 astronautics. So it needs to be... what do they need? What do they sell? It's not what they need. It's what they sell. What haven't we done? Maltech. Sapient. Biotech luxury. Post-tech mineral. Tools military. Alien consumer. Culture agriculture. There's not a survival one yet, but I'm not super hyped on that. Retech, no. Maltech, no. Luxury anywhere? Yes, they produce luxury. That's what they do. Got it. They need slaves. This is a different planet than the Keanu drones. And, they don't do slavery. Oh, they also produce religious stuff. But that means having to make a religious artifact, and I don't feel like doing that. I'm really hesitant to do new religious things. Okay, so... what else do they make? Something highly desired by the rest of the galaxy. Luxury. Tools. Post-tech. Consumer. Biotech. Agriculture. Vehicle. Minerals. I mean, minerals is coming up a lot. Let's give it some minerals. And what are they thirsty for? +2 to astronautics. They need ships and ship parts. What else do they want? They've never met another culture. They think everybody else is dead. So they probably are thirsty for culture, too. They're like, whoa, yeah, man, what's up? Everybody's got stuff. Oh, that's right. They think they're the best culture in the world because they're the only ones that survived. And so they'd be surprised to hear about other cultures. And probably there's an underground trade of cultural artifacts going on. Makes sense to me. Alright, so they sell luxury items. Let's get a grip on what luxury items currently are. Recreational drugs, sure. $50,000 credits. Luxury, biotech, compact. Recreational drugs. Exotic jewels. Now that sounds dope as shit. Literally worthless. It has no purpose except, oh, it's a mineral. That's right. You can break it down and use it to make stuff. Would be worthless, except in the future, you can break exotic jewels down. Emeralds. Diamonds. Actually, diamonds are... I heard someone tell me the other day diamonds were worthless, but diamonds have a lot of practical applications. Sawfang, how's it going? What else has a luxury tag? Fine liquor. Fine liqueur. 10,000, 0, and luxury. Low tech. Compact. Blah, blah, blah. Luxury livestock pets. Oh, so that'd be like, look at my pet chicken. Or cat. Why is cat a luxury pet? Well, when you live in space, cats are not things that you keep around. Not with all that stuff getting in the air conditioner. Wow, there are a lot of luxury items, apparently. They also sell minerals, so we should probably make metal ingots common. Metal ingots, rare alloys. 5,000. Tech level 3, mineral, bulky. Oops. Okay, any other mineral tagged items? Exotic jewels have mineral tag. Oh, do they? Wow. Exotic jewels are going to be really cheap here because they have a -3. That's a 30% off. Dang, man, you buy all your exotic... Get all of your rare exotic jewels here in the Madhura system. Oh, yes, diamonds. They practically flow like rivers. You'd have to be crazy to buy them for anything less than this. I don't know why my voice is doing that thing. I don't even know what it's doing. All right. Let's get this common metal ingots thing also on the other minerals here. Now we need to fill in the 10-part selling area. So, for those that are joining us partway through, when the players go to a planet, they will make a roll involving their friction modifier. The higher it is, the worse it is. 4 is very high. Their own expertise at selling stuff. And they will get to pick 2 random items from... Well, they don't get to pick. They roll 2d10 and get 2 items on this list that are immediately available for sale. These tags lower or increase the cost based on their roll. So... let's say you have let's say you have high friction and you're a bad trader. Your roll's going to be very difficult to overcome. How do you get around that? Well, you hope that you randomly get Immortality Tech, which happens to have a -2 Mel Tech. This is a Mel Tech. So when you use it, you get a -2. For this place, I feel like we need to create a new consumer item. It's not gonna be a consumer item. It's gonna be horrifying. So work with me here, guys. It's going to be a Maltec disease. I'm gonna need a name for this disease. It's like a super virus. Think of the worst virus you possibly could. And what would you name that? This thing gets a +4 price, so it is 100,000 to buy 1 unit of this. We need a 1 or a 20 to shift the price. We don't, so the price stays the same. What is so interesting about this product? Name of a virus. Yes, this is going to be a deadly virus / disease. Or beautiful construction. No. It's going to be fits many users or machines. The special thing about this is that it's tailored to kill humans. Oh no, it's a assassination virus. Can easily be tailored to assassinate specific individuals. Like Foxdie. If you ever played Metal Gear Solid, the original Metal Gear Solid, there was a virus that was created to target people with a certain genome called Galvic. I like that. That sounds kind of sinister. Super expensive, too. And its tags are Maltec, medical. Yep, so you would infect people with this disease, right? And they would all become carriers for the disease. They wouldn't be affected by it. But eventually, through starship travel, it should reach the planet of the target and then spread to the target. And so here you can buy it's like a little starter kit, right? You go home with this kit, you're like, all right, the name of my target is X. Here's some biometric data about them. Here's their fingerprint. Here's their DNA. Here's their, height, weight, etc., etc. And it'll try to calculate parameters to only kill that specific person. And then you're just like, all right, now I just need to spray myself with after it does some calculations, it'll alter the disease inside it, and then you just spray yourself, and then you make sure to got it in your clan's language. Means death by bones. Your bones snap within and make you into a caltrop. That's horrifying, Sawfang. Thank you for sharing that. Truly, truly horrifying. Okay, so what else do they sell here? They already got meta wheat. They're kind of vanilla here. We need something to kind of make them more sinister. Well, I mean, I guess it's harder to make something sinister than a deadly virus, a thing that you eat other people with, and slaves. Maybe we need something to make them less sinister and more just regular old folks. They've got clothes. Do they have clothes? Yes, they have clothes. All right, I'm going to look at these things. You guys let me know if there's a particular good you've seen so far that you think should belong on various planets, or you just want to see again. Maybe you've got a favorite world so far, and you want to make sure that world is traded to a lot. A spice that changes taste depending on how used to it you are. I like that, actually, Peppers. That's pretty fucking cool, so let's make that. That's probably biotech and agricultural. Well, it'll be cultural because it's made here only on this specific planet. All right. Give me a name for this spice. With a biotech and a cultural tag. Is a +1, which means it is 10,000 credits. I'm going to say it's rare and widely desired, so it actually goes up to 25,000 credits. Biotech, cultural, rare. The JQX. Very well. That I'm gonna throw that on there. I'm sure it's a reference to something because it's Pepper saying it. But that's what we got. People are saying stuff about drugs. Let's go ahead and have drug raw materials be made here. Begun the River End Castle. Well, it's River End Keep. River End Keep. Begun the River End Keep wars have. Agriculture, biotech, and bulky. What do these aliens want? They want post-tech and consumer goods. Alright, let's give them something post-techy from... Oh, shit, this world can't make post-tech. But they can make consumer goods. Boo. Parts basic industry. I like that. XCOM 2 Long War. Good luck, buddy. That's a dangerous game you are playing. Horribly dangerous game. You die in the game, you die in real life. I pray the king shows you his mercy. For shame. Alright, so we have a fully kitted out world. Gataray. This is a secret world. They make basic goods on this planet and everything up to tech level 4, but they have to sell it secretly because their inhabitants don't know the rest of the universe exists. They think they're the only survivors, despite the fact people visit their planet on a somewhat secluded basis by going to a secret base. Probably it's going to be a space station, but maybe it's on a pole. You know, like you can only visit the South Pole. That way no one can see the spaceship incoming that's not in the southern hemisphere. Oh, and they'd have a wildlife reserve down there and be like, yeah, yeah, honey. Secret member of the government. I'm just a researcher looking at whales at the South Pole. And then they get there and they're like, yeah, Privet comrade. I understand you're Russian. I am trade minister. Okay, so what do they sell here? They sell metals, parts. Let's give them just some regular stuff. Common livestock. It's a rough world, but they get by with some regular old livestock. Well, I'm glad people are having fun with the concept of the assault on River End Keep. It's a bit like Pathfinder Society's multiple table events. We're being a little less formal than that, a little less put together. Clothing. Clothing is always an easy one to just throw on there for shits and giggles. And low tech, cultural. And then something else another planet needs. Vehicles. Alright, we're going to make a custom vehicle for this planet. I'm going to need a vehicle name in a moment. Oh, you know what? Let's make it a military vehicle as well. It's going to be a pretty sick vehicle. Military gives a +1. Vehicle gives a +1. That gives it a 2 modifier, which means each vehicle's worth 25,000 credits. Each vehicle is 1 unit, and what's special about it? It's exquisitely precise craft. I like that. They're tech level 4, so exquisitely precise craft. So it's probably like some sort of off-road, hostile terrain hover vehicle. It's the opposite of the Mako in Mass Effect. You know, all of the piece of garbage, floating, horrible monsters. This is like a atmospheric, highly controlled hover vehicle. Let me know if you got any ideas for it. It's the Hummer of hover vehicles, by the way. You know, it's big, it's a monster, it could go through a wall if it needed to. The mileage is terrible, but you can go over fucking lava with it. The Tall Rock. I'll wait and see if we got any other names, because Tall Rock might be like its military code name, but, you know, like Hummer isn't the name of the Hummer. Tall Rock. We make them right here. Get them on the Gatorade system. No, it doesn't need to be a normal name. I just, you know, want to give everybody a chance to kind of throw stuff down. Just to be clear, I am still accepting ship names. I literally only have one ship name so far. Names of ships that will be in this campaign. This is an alien planet. I'm gonna look on the alien worlds thing and probably just yank stuff off of it. It helps speed this up because this has taken a little while. I like pre-tech junk. For 50,000. They probably have the remains of some pre-tech ships. They also can sell meta wheat. Yeah, you can name a ship. Anyone can name a ship. Litany of Battle. Very well. We already have native artwork, right? Yes. Tools seem popular. Litany of Litany's Litany? Really? No, thank you, Sudden. I'll pass on that one. What do they sell here? Man, this is rough. I'm just like running low on energy. Suck it up, Perkins. Small planet. Fine liquor. Probably gonna have to invent things. I already do clothing? No. I mean, again, clothing's a great one to just throw on there. Everybody exports clothing. Oops, how much is clothing worth? 1,000. Zero. Common, low tech, cultural. One more thing. Oh, small arms projectile. They sell guns. Alright. Panopticon World. What do they sell here? Cultural items, of course. Clothing, native artwork. Would there be a ship or crew that's comical relief? I mean, probably. Let's do housewares. They're gonna generate everything on this planet needed to help a new tech level 4 planet get underway. So that might help me. Consumer pose tech. Oh boy. I do like the name Titanic too. I'm not gonna put the rest of that in there though. Pose tech. Costs 25,000 a unit. Oops. Tech level 4 and has the tags medical, pose tech, compact. Addition a ship to be named either the Zug Zug or the Party Hard. Why not both? I mean, remember that spaceships are owned by a huge variety of people, or will be shortly. Right? I mean, someone's gonna name their ship the Banana Republic. Someone's gonna name their ship the Immovable Object. Oh, you literally just named a ship Immovable Object. The Unstoppable Force, the Immovable Object, the thing between. Yeah. I mean, not every ship's gonna be called the Imperator or the Hanan Cultural Society Vessel Number 5 that stops you and makes sure that you're paying your taxes. Street is 5,000. Is tech 3 and is low tech tool. Oh, that makes sense because it's a tool. And one more thing. There, instead of luxury drugs, is there medical drugs? I feel like that's probably a thing. They sell medical supplies, they sell medical tools so you can make new medicine. Colonial supplies. That's a good one. Especially if they're trying to intentionally force the economy to help other colonies grow. I'm looking for military. They're already selling all that. So I'm just going to take things from this particular world. Like the idea of crawler while Zagros. I don't know about the future X. I'm going to skip past that one. I like the idea of an unstoppable force and a movable object being owned by rivals. Oh, it'd be really cool if they were like rival far traders that showed up for the player campaign. Probably they're like husband and wife or ex husband and wife. All right, let's do tools, medical equipment. 50,000. Out of nowhere. It's an RKO. Out of nowhere. Randy Orton slithering into the ring. The Vipers got him. It's an RKO. Out of nowhere. Drugs recreational is 50,000. Luxury biotech compact. You can buy drugs here. Fine liquor. Well, let's deal with exotic jewels. No, they need minerals on this planet, so it'd be weird for them to sell them. Fine liquor. Actually, it would be interesting to have that there just to see if the players will buy it by accident, where it's really expensive. Air, mineral, luxury, compact. Probably it's a mineral they can't use on that particular planet, which makes sense. Okay, got one more planet to go. Just wrap this up. Wow, been at this for almost 2.5 hours. Okay. This is the player's starting planet. So we need interesting things here. I want to throw clothing down immediately, but that's a terrible idea. What's good to trade with? I mean, meta wheat is always a good trade item because everyone wants food. It'd be interesting to go through the list of what people need for planets and try to match. This is actually 500. Match what they need to hear. Okay. So what can we sell here that some other planet needs? Schools, military. Okay, so let's sell something military here. Small arms. Energy. It's 10,000 for a unit. Military. Tech. Zapharos buys consumer goods. So we need a consumer good here. Tech housewares. And Philemon system needs agriculture. So let's have some gene engineered biostock. And that costs 10,000 for 1 ton of cows. Okay. All right. Now, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. I know you thought we were done. We need to make a trouble table. Extremely cosmopolitan, law-abiding worlds only have a 1 in 10 chance of having troubles. Most worlds will have a 3 in 10, with tyrannical planets having 4 in 10. So, we need to create a trouble table. And this world is not cosmopolitan. It's tyrannical. So let's see here. Once you've chosen a trouble threshold, you fill out the table. 2 troubles should delay the PCs for 1d4 to 1d8 weeks. 2 troubles should typically cost them a percentage of their goods, usually 1d4 to 1d6% of 10. I'm actually just going to take troubles already made. Alright, so trouble table. Which planet is this? This is Thora. It's the first planet the players come from. It's very open to trade. Trouble is going to be 1 here. It's very simple. Panopticon planet, they are completely under control. It's going to be a 1 to trade. This is the alien world. It's going to be a 3. They're open to trade, but they also have a giant fleet in orbit that's preventing people from getting there. This is a 5 trouble table here. The local government is super mean, and they're going to kick you in the face. Trouble table 2. While the government might steal stuff from you here, they definitely won't want they want you to come back so that they can take 90% of what you make. All right. Let's see if I can copy this over into a 2 wide 6. Well, it almost worked. Okay. You get a trouble level 5 table. 4, 3, 3, 4, 4. And I'm going to take one of these. A level 3 table. A level 1 table. Probably it's going to end up being a level 2. Oh, no, here's a 1. Already got that one. Already got that one. Already got that one. And a highly troubled world. Wow, 60% of your stuff could get taken away. All right. I think that's it. I think we've created the majority of what we need for the trade campaign. What are we missing? Because, of course, I'm not saying we're completely done. I'm going to use some of these ship names, son. They're pretty good. Undercover Autobot is good. If found, please return to Earth. What are we missing? Sorry. We are missing adventures. We are missing adventure templates. And why are we missing those? Because I don't have players yet. There's no point to making adventures that players aren't interested in. I need to gather the players. Obviously, trading is going to be a huge part of it, but I'm going to have to ask them, do you want to go on trading adventures where you sort out problems with your tariffs? Or is trade what you use when you go between planets and your adventures are still the standard? Get a job while you're here in between your trades, shoot people up, steal some stuff, go on crime sprees, just try to steal a ship. Like, what is important to the players? Is it going on adventures to lower the friction rating, to bribe the government officials to solve their problems? Or is it, just doing what you want? And that's why I'm not going to put the work in now if I don't know what the players want. Which brings us to the most important part of every role-playing game. Know what your players want, and then try to combine what you want with that. Thank you for coming, guys. We'll be back tomorrow night for the first part, well, actually, it's the third part of this GM prep for Starvation Cheap. Starvation Cheap is going to take place in the exact same sector, but it's going to take place in a different part. It's going to take place over here in the systems of Dota, Thordis, Isa, Katla, Meda, and Volgaropolis. Cool. We will need to do what we've already done for the sector. We developed a faction list, and we set up a faction table. We're going to have to do that again for the other part of the sector. And this time we'll be looking at it with a keen eye towards making war between planets. And we're going to intentionally include low-tech planets. Tech level 0, which is savage primitives. Tech level 1, which is people who can use stones. And tech level 2, which is where you fight with swords and crossbows. Because those planets tend to be highly inhabited. And it's very interesting to try to simulate conflicts between a small mercenary group, which the players would be, with a highly advanced equipment, fighting them. Because, yes, you can kill 1,000 people with your laser rifle from a distance, but it only takes one native with a knife to cut your throat. And I feel like I want to have all kinds of conflicts available. You know, if there's several million people on a low-tech planet, some of them that's threatening to destroy them with nukes might be something the players, if they're righteous people, want to step in and do, even though it means fighting hundreds and thousands and millions of people to get to that nuke. So, stick around. That will be part 3. Part 4 will be after we've set up the factions, setting up individual conflicts around the area, creating wars, and helping to prep for when the players build a mercenary force. I might just make the mercenary force for them. I think that'll probably make more sense. I don't think players want to sit down and make one. They probably want to have adventurers and then just go kick ass. So, have a good night. I'll find someone for you guys to watch.